Alright, chapter 15 Trapped in the Garbage Pile. Ragweed slipped back to the middle of the pile where Blinker was waiting nervously. Is she gone? The white mouse asked. No way. What is she doing? Waiting for us, dude. Worse, she has her friend Graybar with her. I never heard of a Graybar, Blinker whispered. Like, I don't think you want to, dude, Ragweed warned. Ragged ears, scars, limps like a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Bad to the bone. I can imagine, a dejected Blinker replied. Ragweed, unsure of what to do, looked around. On the one paw, garbage surrounded them. The stench was awful. On the other paw, it was full of edible food, which meant they could, if they had to, stay, but only for a while. At some point, you'd have to get out. Ragweed knew where he wanted to go. Clutch's car. It wasn't far. If they managed to get there, they would be safe. The question was, how could they get from the garbage pile to the ford without being caught? One cat was bad enough. Two made escape almost impossible. Ragweed wished Clutch were with them. He was sure she had a lot more experience in these things than he did. It made him think about how much he admired her. I am terribly sorry to have to put you in such a predicament, Blinker offered. And here you were about to go away. Maybe, Ragweed said, but it was my choice to help you, dude. So we don't have to talk about that anymore, okay? There's always the chance we could outrun them. Like, how fast can you go? He asked. I'm not sure, Blinker said. Ragweed pondered. Then he said, Chill, I'm going to take another look, okay? Once more, Ragweed climbed to the top of the garbage pile. This time, when he came up, it was by a large, mostly empty plastic bottle, curiously labeled Dr. Pepper, balanced precariously near the top. Careful not to nudge it, lest he dislodge it and send it clattering down the pile, Ragweed surveyed the scene. Silversides was where she'd been before, her eyes glued to the garbage pile, but she was alone again. Ragweed was not ready to celebrate. Instead, he turned and confirmed his own worst fears. Not only was Graybar on the other side, he was sitting between the garbage pile and Clutch's ford. What's more, he was waiting just as patiently as Silversides. Ragweed returned to Blinker. Silversides is still there, he informed the white mouse, and so is her friend Graybar. We're surrounded. Oh my, Blinker sighed, wiping away a tear. It was an awful mistake to leave the safety of my room. I should have been satisfied with what I had. What have I achieved? Listen, dude, you did the best you could. Now, what am I saying? Check it out. You can either sit here and moan or figure out how to get to the next step. I suppose you're right, Blinker said, cringing. It's just that I don't know what to do. I'm all bottled up. Ragweed sat up. Hey, maybe that's the way to get out of this mess. It's like risky, but hey, dude, I don't know what else to do. I'll do whatever you think it is best, Blinker stammered. Okay then, Ragweed said. Keep behind me, and, no talking. Followed by Blinker, Ragweed worked his way to the top of the junk pile, coming up by the plastic bottle's open neck. Now, stay way cool, Ragweed whispered. First, you've got to squeeze inside of that bottle, but don't make any extra movement. Once you're in, stay on the uphill side. That'll keep the bottle from tipping over till we're ready. You get it? I think so. What about you? I'll follow you in, okay? Ragweed urged. You go for it. Whiskers trembling, Blinker poked his head into the bottle's neck, then slipped the rest of the way in. His slimness served him well. Within moments, he was wading in brown liquid. The bottle teetered, but Blinker kept to the uphill side of the junk heap, and the bottle stayed put. It was Ragweed's turn. Bracing himself, making sure not to move too quickly, he squeezed into the bottle's neck, inserting his front paws first so as to take up less room and at the same time pull himself forward. Ragweed was a little plumper than Blinker, so it was a tight squeeze. He had to push and kick. Even then, he became momentarily stuck. It took all of his strength to squeeze and pull through the last inch of the neck. His movement caused the bottle to teeter. Blinker, not daring to move, watched anxiously. Finally, together inside of the bottle, the two mice were scrambled to find the right balance. Like, we did it, Ragweed whispered. I'm very glad, Blinker said, though he did not sound very much like it was true. His eyes were very wide, and his teeth were chattering. It was humid inside of the bottle, and the air was heavy with a cloying, sweet smell. I think we're in what's called soda. Wouldn't know, Ragweed said. He took a lick. Killer sweet. What do we do now? The white mouse asked. His voice echoed as if he were calling into an empty well. Ragweed tried to look through the sides of the bottle, but it was curved and distorted the view. Okay, he said. Here's the way we're going to do it. When I give the word, we're going to throw ourselves at the far side of the bottle, paws up like this. He held his paws out flat. If we bob the bottle just right, it should, roll off the pile. It won't matter if the cats see us. No way they can get in at us. If the bottle goes the way I think it will, we'll be real close to my friend Clutch's car. Get inside that, and we're safe, dude. Keep trusting me, he added when he saw Blinker's look of anxiety. I'm trying, the white mouse replied faintly. You ready? Ragweed asked. Yeah. Okay, when I say go, dude, jump on the other side. We need to get it going together. I understand, Blinker said. Here we go. Taking a deep breath, Ragweed began to count. 1, 2, 3. Jump! At the word, the two mice leaped. With a lurch, the bottle began to roll down the side of the junk pile. Unable to stay on his feet, a suddenly helpless Ragweed tumbled head over heels. Blinker, who was used to the exercise wheel in this cage, ran with the bottle spin. Even so, both mice received a complete soaking. The bottle came down on the side where Graybar was waiting. Startled, he scampered away. Inside the rolling bottle, Ragweed continued to turn somersaults, while a panicky Blinker kept running in place. When the bottle finally reached level ground, it continued to roll thanks to Blinker's efforts, but now it began to spin too. Unable to keep his feet, the white mouse slipped. Blinker and Ragweed were hurled about at random, drenched in the sticky soda, until gradually the bottle came to a stop. Where are we? A groggy Blinker asked. After allowing his head to settle, Ragweed bent to peek through the neck of the bottle. Cool, he announced. I can see the hole in Clutch's car. We're pointing right at it. It's no more than a few feet away and no cats in sight. Killer easy, Mouse, you did it. Awesome. I did? Blinker asked. Staying on your feet and running? Man, that gave us some extra energy. Tight. Where'd you learn that trick? I run a lot in a wheel. A wheel? Blinker explained how the wheel in the cage worked. Weird. Anyway, the rest should be sweet. Let's get out of here. You first, then I'll come. What if the cat sees me? If it gets too bad, forget me, man. Take care of yourself. Go for Clutch's nest. I wish I had never left my room, Blinker murmured. We've got to keep going, dude. I'll try, Blinker said dubiously. Hang in there, Ragweed said by the way of encouragement. Okay, Blinker whispered. He squeezed through the bottle's neck. Once out, he turned back and called softly. Everything is all right. They're here, but they're still watching the garbage pile. Cool! Ragweed returned from the inside of the bottle. Shaking his rear legs free of the brown liquid, he slipped. Here's a picture. Can you imagine that wild ride inside of a bottle like that? That'd be crazy. I'd get real sick. Into the neck of the bottle and wiggled forward. The moment he did, he knew he had made a bad mistake. He'd forgotten to stretch his front paws before him. Now they were pinned uselessly to his sides. Unfortunately, his wet, slippery fur made his passage possible. By wiggling, twisting, and squirming, he managed to move forward until he finally poked his head out of the bottle top. There's another picture. Can you imagine if he got stuck in there? It would be no good. Blinker was waiting nervously. Hurry, he whispered. I'm trying, dude, I'm trying, Ragweed replied, keeping his voice low. The next moment, he stopped moving. What's the matter? The white mouse whispered. Blinker, Ragweed said, panic edging into his voice for the first time. I'm stuck. Uh-oh. I can't move. You've got to help me, man. Pull me out. Blinker started to reach for Ragweed's paws, which were not there. But what should I hold on to? He cried. Jittery, he spoke loudly. My ears, Ragweed cried. Grab my ears! But I'll hurt you, Blinker stammered. Behind them, Silversides and Graybar meowed. The cats have seen us, Ragweed yelled at Blinker. Get me out of here, man! They're gonna bite my head off! I'll hurt you, Blinker squealed. Don't worry about hurting me, Ragweed screamed. It's my life I'm worried about. The cats were drawing close. Blinker grasped Ragweed's ears and began to pull. Heels dug in, he leaned back and pulled again. Slowly, painfully, Ragweed began to slip out. More! He shouted, though his ears hurt awfully a lot. Then, with a sudden pop, Ragweed burst out of the bottle. He came out so suddenly, Blinker tumbled backwards. As for Ragweed, he flew over Blinker, landed hard, but not far from Clutch's door. By this time, the cats were sprinting toward them. Ragweed leaped to his feet. "Run!" he shouted, and hurled himself against Clutch's entryway. It would not budge. Though he banged and banged on the wood, it remained stuck. Then he remembered what Clutch had told him, and he pounded the upper right section. The wood fell in. Ragweed followed. The second he landed, he jumped up and turned around. With the two cats right behind him, Blinker was scrambling to get into the hole. Ragweed dashed out, grabbed the white mouse by the paw, and dragged him inside, then flung the wood over the entryway right in the cats' faces. "Hey, dude, you do make an excellent entrance," said a voice behind them.